So I've been hearing a lot about this lately, and maybe you have too, but I've been hearing about something called rap fatigue. Now, you may have heard of it, but just in case you haven't, it's this new trend where essentially people are talking about how sick they are of hip hop, sort of realizing that it's not a good genre, and basically have an issue with its negative content, such as violence or a lot of its unpleasant subject matter, as well as its often negative attitudes towards and negative portrayals of women. And there's a lot of talk about how repetitive hip hop is. There's even been this really weird one about how the subject matter oftentimes doesn't align with their morals, or like what's discussed in the song isn't something that's experienced in their everyday lives. Which I thought that was a really weird one, because I never saw that as a requirement needed to listen to music. Now, I could maybe see where a lot of these people are coming from, except on that last point. I think that one's just a little bananas. But with most of them, I could see where these people are coming from if I were someone that only listened to like the Rap Caviar playlist on Spotify, or maybe only listened to like the radio. I feel like this is also mainly just a discussion only because Billboard posted an article about how there's no rap songs in the like Hot 100's top 40 for the first time in a while, which I just thought, who cares? But those with rap fatigue likely have a very limited view of the genre, meaning they probably just listen to a certain subgenre or a particular sound within rap, which then sort of becomes their overall view of the entire genre. I could also see it being the case where they only listen to rap and maybe no other genre of music, or at least that's been the case for the last some years, maybe the last decade. And I can see where it would start to get a little overplayed at that point. For instance, I listen to a variety of different genres of music, and the way I sort of listen to music is I'll be kind of hooked on one genre for a little bit, and even a particular subgenre. Like I might be listening to only psychedelic rock for a little bit, but then I want to hear something different, and I transition to a new sound. Maybe I want to listen to more alternative hip hop, and I start listening to that. And I don't know if that's just me, but that's sort of how I listen to music, is I'll sort of zone in on like one particular genre for a few days, maybe a week, and then I'm ready to switch genres, listen to something else. So I could definitely see if I only listen to one certain genre of music, then I could imagine myself getting tired of it. In reality, this is really just a fatigue of the most diluted, digestible, inoffensive music that the genre has to offer. This is the case with pretty much any genre where you're trying to reach as wide an audience as possible. It's going to result in some very bland and repetitive music. You can check out not just the top rap playlist on Spotify or Apple Music, but you could check out whatever the top rock playlist is, the top country. You're going to get the most bland, generic, and repetitive sound on all of them. What you're really getting tired of is the playlists and the algorithms. If you're someone who opens up Spotify and throws on the Rap Caviar playlist, for example, it's going to use a lot of the trending sounds that are very popular at the moment. And it's going to result in some very repetitive music. If you primarily consume music through TikTok, the algorithm is going to feed you sounds based off what you previously showed interest in to keep you viewing as long as possible. The goal is to keep you on the app as long as possible. Now, there's been a lot of discussion about this already. There's been plenty of people making YouTube videos. You can open up TikTok or Twitter and see discussions about this happening. But I did want to try and add something new to the conversation about if you are someone that does feel like you have rap fatigue, or really fatigue of any kind of music, maybe offer some ways that you can discover new music rather than be fed new music, if that makes sense. And my first piece of advice is to stop passively listening to music. And what do I mean by this? Basically, when you go to listen to music, instead of just opening up Spotify and throwing on the top, rap playlist or whatever, maybe seek out a playlist of a certain sound you're interested in. For example, I like progressive rock, so I might look up a progressive rock playlist, and then I want to find a playlist that was not created by Spotify, but created by an actual, person and an actual user. So that way I'm getting like real recommendations from a real person. Now I know that's kind of a specific example, like I gave a subgenre of rock, and you can always also do like underground plus whatever genre of music you're looking for. I think that'll help you find some very innovative and new music that is within your genre that you're comfortable listening to, but will provide you with a new sound, essentially. My next piece of advice is, God damn it. Now, for this next piece of advice, I'm not sure if this is something that Apple Music has, but I primarily listen to Spotify, so I know they have it. But you can go to an artist Spotify page and scroll down to the fans also like section and see some similarly related artists that you can check out. For instance, I'll go through and click on each artist and listen to like their top 5 or top 10 tracks that are listed there, and sort of just to dip my toes in the water and see if it's something I like. And I saved this what I think is the most important piece of advice for last, is take people up on their music recommendations. There are YouTubers, podcasters, streamers that are music oriented that are always recommending music. Listen to it. Go onto Reddit and go to any subreddit with the genre of music you're looking for and ask for recommendations, and there are real people to offer you music that they listen to. Now, the advice I've offered isn't something I can guarantee will work for every single person, but I'm offering it because it's worked for me. But there is one thing you need to keep in mind, or else I can guarantee that this advice will not work for you, and that is to remember that you will not like everything that you listen to. I know that's not groundbreaking right there necessarily, but one thing to keep in mind is a lot of people will get deterred from seeking out new music actively with the thought that they're going to waste their time by potentially listening to a bunch of music that they don't like. But I want to stress that even if you listen to 100 songs that you don't like and one song that you do like, it's still not a waste of time. When you're listening to music like this, you're gaining a better understanding of what you like, and ultimately I think it gives you a more refined music taste. And I don't mean that as, oh, now your music taste is better than everyone else's, but you're just more confident in what you do like, and you're more confident in identifying what you don't like. Well, that's about all I have to say right now about this rap fatigue nonsense and what I think about it. And if you choose to take my advice on listening to or on discovering new music, then I really hope it works for you. If not, I did warn you, I can't guarantee it works for everyone. Now, when I first started this channel, my intention was to really only do like album and track sort of breakdown review type videos, as well as vinyl tours and music recommendations of music I like in certain genres that I think if you're interested in, then you check out too. Things like that. I never really saw myself making these discussion type videos surrounding topics being discussed online. So I'm not sure if I'll do more videos like this in the future, but I may. I guess it just depends on really how passionate or how much I care about the current topic at hand. With that being said, I'm not sure if you noticed this stack of records behind me, but that means my next video is going to be a vinyl tour video. It'll be my second vinyl tour that I've done so far, so be sure to check it out. Thanks for listening to me ramble throughout this video. If you end up liking this a lot, then maybe I'll do more types of these videos. But yeah, thanks for sticking around, and I hope you have a good one. Happy New Year's, everybody.